Hey y'all, it is June the 30th in 2018. Thank y'all for joining me, and I appreciate all y'all out there. Y'all know who you are. Um, y'all wanted to go over this article because I found it pretty interesting, and I think it might prove to be crucial in a lot of the stuff. We're breaking down a lot of angles. We're seeing things more clearly now that the rain is gone. And I thought I would just go ahead and break down this article because I think we're having a little bit of progress with it, with this sort of deal. This is actually an old article. It's from February the 27th, 2018, and it's from NJ.com. I guess that would be for New Jersey.com. Mayor defends sharing online conspiracy aimed at Parkland survivor. And it's very interesting, this headline, right? Pretty interesting, intriguing, if you will. The headline says, Mayor defends sharing online conspiracy aimed at Parkland. Now, even before reading the article, I already know that you know, that I know, that we all know, that this headline, and I know it sounds nitpicky, but this headline should read, Mayor defends sharing online conspiracy theory aimed at Parkland survivor, quote, survivor. All right. Thing is, you got to understand that there's actually a very large difference between people aiming a conspiracy at you or a conspiracy theory at you. That's crucial. That's an extreme difference. All right. So the headline, I must assure you, got it completely wrong. And what they mean is conspiracy theory aimed at Parkland. Before we get into it, I know that a lot of y'all already remember way back when this first starting up. People were talking about this David Hogg man. I think he might be a crisis actor from California. I think he might be 27 years old. And it's like, I looked at it and said, man, if he is 27 years old, he's got an immune disease or something. Like, something's wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? These 27-year-olds don't look like this and stuff. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, that's interesting, but it's not. It's really not interesting. A lot of people were kind of getting caught up in that debate. And like you already know, that was all part of the design. People were supposed to get caught up in that silly kind of debate. All right, people were supposed to be debating, is he a real thing or is he an actor? Is he a this or is he a that? Is he a woozy? Is he a wassy? All right, but the thing is, we do have to remember, we discussed it a little bit earlier, and stay steadfast to it, that who and what David Hogg really, unfortunately, it does not matter. Like, if he was a 42-year-old Eskimo that came in and he's trying to fool us all, it still wouldn't matter. All right. If he's an actual student that went to Parkland High School, which is purported by fellow Parkland students, so I tend to believe it. All right. And he looks very much like a young child. The thing is, it doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter because of what we already seen. All right. This is a young boy who quite clearly told us, two just almost polar opposite stories in regards to where he was at, what he was doing on that day that a lot of people regard as one of the darkest days, in American history, like a really, really tough time. All right. David Hogg, irregardless of I don't care who he is, where he came from. All right. This young boy told us two completely different stories. All right. So we're going to hop into the article real quick, and we're going to discuss a little bit of some stuff at the end. Let's go ahead and read this from February the 27th. And it's written by Rob Jennings, and we're going to see exactly what he's getting at. All right, we're going to see what he's getting at. New Mayor Wayne Levante is standing by his Facebook peddling of debunked crisis actor conspiracies. Now, we already know. We knew back then, all right? It was kind of meant as a little bit of a distraction. You can kind of feel it. can kind of feel it because people were getting caught up in it. There's no way to prove. That's what's the thing. It's not really beneficial to dive down a rabbit hole on a certain aspect or angle that you cannot prove. You know what I mean? It's hard to prove that David Hogg is a crisis actor if he was a crisis actor. All right, and it's beside the point. Like I said, he told two different stories. Anyways, crisis actor. He's peddling of debunked crisis actor conspiracies targeting David Hogg, but said it was intended as a rebuke of the media, and of course it was. I don't even know this guy, but of course it was. Not the high school student. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I don't even know the guy. All right, but let's continue. Hogg, a survivor. Hogg, a survivor of the Parkland, Florida mass shooting, spoke at a gun safety rally in Livingston on Sunday. A gun safety rally, huh? Several days after Levante, via multiple posts on the mayor's personal Facebook page, waded into a discredited video. All right, I think Snopes discredited it, and other allegations on the internet attacking the 17-year-old's story. By the way, which story are you referring to? Which of the two stories are you referring to? They didn't really discuss it. The article says this: people have a right to look at this stuff and form an opinion, says Levant. I don't even know Levant. I don't know where he's a mayor at, and I don't care. Right, but I totally, on this point, absolutely 100% agree with Mr. Levant. I had to back him. All right? Just knowing this, if you would ask me right now, do you back him? I would say I had to back him. All right, I do. He's a Republican, said Monday night of a post he shared from the Donald Trump Commander-in-Chief 2020 Facebook page. And who knows? Who really knows if that'll happen? We'll find out about that Trump 2020. They have a right to watch David Hogg struggling, as he does. He really does. Struggling to answer questions and misstating words, as he does. He really does a lot. Misstating words, and for them to decide whether or not he's just a nervous young kid or he's trying to remember lines that CNN gave him. I don't know which one it could be. Levante said in an indirect allusion to another debunked conspiracy theory. Who's the official debunker? That's what I'm asking. Who's out there who's the official debunker of all these conspiracy theories? All right, about the network scripting questions for the Florida survivors. Yet again, this article, I don't know if they even knew at this time, it's February the 27th. I don't even know if they knew that David Hogg told completely two different stories, period. All right? End of story. I don't care who David Hogg is, but he told two different stories. All right, so, yeah, I mean, could the network have been scripting questions? Maybe, but it does not matter in the least. Levante added that he accepts Hogg was at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, as I accept it as well. I mean, I accept it. At one point, he may well have been on campus. I don't know if he rode his bike there. I don't know if he sleepwalked there. I don't know if he has any clue how he got there. I don't know. Levante added that he accepts Hogg was at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School on February 14th when 17 were killed, but is undecided on whether the story he is telling is fully his own. Oh, really? I'm not saying one or the other, he said in an interview before the Newton Town Council meeting. Well, that was a very good quote. The writer of this article is so very good at quoting people. I mean, that was like half a sentence, wasn't it? I'm not saying one or the other. That was barely a complete sentence. Levante is running for re-election to the council in May and was named mayor last summer. He drew statewide attention last fall upon calling for a consolidated county-wide district in Sussex County. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of details to that. I know nothing about that, and I don't want to know anything about that. However, I still back Levante in those particular points of maybe we don't like what we heard coming out of David Hogg's mouth. All right, so though his personal Facebook account is set to private, his post about Hogg became public after James Santonastasso, one of the mayor's Facebook quote friends, probably not a real friend if you know what I mean, uploaded screenshots to the page of the Newton Democrats. He's spreading that gossip. Levante did not dispute the authenticity of his posts, including one from Trump 2020 page in which he shared a description of Hogg as a so-called student, but actually a crisis actor. Now, honestly, the First Amendment says people can speculate whatever they want to. It's not as though Levante is going to the police department and claiming he saw David Hogg as a crisis actor getting all done up in makeup. He's not saying that. He's speculating as to perhaps he could have been. How do we know? And the thing is, they're almost describing it as illegal, what he's doing, and criminal. And it's not, actually. It's not criminal at all. Right? And we're going to notice that Levante, God bless him, he just kind of stands by what he said. And they call him out on it, and he just says, you know what, I stand by what I said. In another post, Levante wrote something just isn't authentic about this kid. Oh, really? Oh, really? Something's not authentic about the kid that told us two completely conflicting stories during this mass shooting event? Something's just not authentic. His post prompted Scott McDonald, the former mayor of Washington Borough of Warren County, to post an FYI note to Levante's account with a link to a news story about an aide to a Republican state legislator in Florida fired after falsely accusing Hogg and other students of being child actors. All right. Now, the thing is, a lot of us are not surprised by this. We saw this coming, obviously. We can assume this has been happening behind the scenes, low key and stuff. People just get fired and stuff, man, just for having some ideas. Maybe having the wrong ideas. Maybe they had thought crimes happening in their head. I don't know. But here's the thing. This legislator, who they're talking about, I don't know who they're talking about, but he got fired. I'm sure he did. He got fired not for going to the police department. Not for going to the police department and saying, hey, I want to file a claim that says these people are child actors and they're really trying to pull it over on us. No. He got fired for speculating that it is possible that they could have been actors. I mean, they were in the damn drama club. Like, all these people speaking are, like, in the drama club. Santonastasso is a member of the Sussex County Democratic Committee who drew notice in August after he recorded Assemblyman Parker Space, Republican of the 24th District, describing one of the Democratic opponents as the B word 3 times following a drug awareness vigil in Newton. And I want to stop right there just for a quick second and point out, man, you know, this atrocious article writer, he hears about things that are actually interesting. He knows about things that really are interesting and funny and real funny. But instead of writing about that, which he could, and elaborate on that, he's going to continue to write his stupid article. Right. Contacted Monday, he said he shared Levante's post with the public because he felt Newton's residents should have the opportunity to discuss them. I'd like to see him come out and show some support to the kids of Parkland, because that's what matters now. Does it matter that David Hogg told 2 completely different stories? Does that matter at all, I wonder? I wonder if that matters now. Does it matter now? All right, let me know when it matters. However, when the Newton Town Council met at 7 p.m., no one in the audience addressed the mayor's Facebook post. I mean, they tried to ignore it, basically, and pretend it don't exist. So, nor did any of the other members of the council bring it up. They just pretended it don't exist. Levante weighed in at the start, speaking for just over a minute and telling the audience, and we're going to get a quote right here of 2 total words, that it is, quote, too early to be discussing gun control and other policy matters relating to the Florida shooting, and it absolutely is. I mean, first comes evidence and then comes policy changing, right? We're still waiting on the evidence, so maybe hold off on the policy changing. That's what Levante was saying, and I had to back him on that. I'm backing that Levante like 30-40% now at this point. Like, I'm really starting to get on the Levante train. Earlier, he offered a fuller explanation on his separate public Facebook page, which he retooled as a blog after drawing some criticism, as I'm sure y'all know about, last fall over his school board commentaries. He said, I put that media is playing us. He said, I put that the media is playing us. Levante, he said, I put that the media is playing us. The media is playing us. The media is playing us. And that was quotes. That's quotes from Levante. All right, I back you, Levante. All right, you're earning a friend right now, Levante. He said, I put that the media is trying to play us. He said, they're pushing an agenda with this tragedy, and I stand by that statement. My name is Levante, and I don't play with my words. All right, that's the word that we got from Mr. Rob Jennings over there at NJ.com. Apparently Levante ain't having it, and I'm backing that Levante at this particular moment until I get further notice. Now the thing is, we're gonna have to leave out here, but before we do, I mean, it really got me to thinking. I don't know if maybe it got you to thinking. They're discussing things that honestly, like we said, don't matter. Now it's interesting. It's intriguing to speculate on, but at the end of the day, don't matter. It don't matter. What does matter is him clearly on videotape to two different publications talking about two absolutely different stories. Did you have like amnesia, or I mean, did someone bonk you on your head? Like, how in the world is it even possible? That's the only question I have for you, Hogg. It's the only question. And I don't want to hear nothing else. How do you do that? And forget it. If you're not even going to answer how you do it, because I'm sure you're not going to answer it, right? At least, could instead of bullying people, could you give us an apology for that? Could you apologize for accidentally telling us a complete lie to our faces? Could you do that? All right. Thought about it. I was like, maybe it just flew under my radar. Maybe he apologized and I just didn't hear about it. So I looked. I checked out a couple places. I checked out, of course, the YouTube looking for. I typed in David Hogg apology. So maybe he apologized for doing that. All right. And it says David Hogg reacts to Laura Ingram's apology. Laura Ingram apologized for post. Parkland shooting survivor David Hogg won't accept Laura Ingram's apology. Laura Ingram apologizes to David Hogg. David Hogg on Laura Ingram. A bully is a bully, and that is true. David Hogg, you are exactly correct. You're exactly correct. David Hogg doesn't accept Foxhole's apology. Here's David Hogg posing for Abercrombie and Fitch. Laura Ingram announces vacation after apologizing. It goes on and on. I have to assure you, there is no such apology. I think one time I heard him say some mumbling words about it. I want to say that one time I heard him say some mumbling words about it, but I can't for the life of me remember where. If y'all have seen it, y'all just let me know. Shoot me a link. Where can I find David Hogg's apology for telling the two stories? And until I see the apology for something that is quite dastardly, all right, amazing, until I see the apology, it really don't matter what David Hogg's saying, where he's coming from, who he is. He could be a midget for all I care. I mean, and I don't have nothing against midgets. All right. Anyways, I'll holler at y'all a little bit later. I appreciate all y'all out there, and to include midgets and people and other sort of people. I appreciate all y'all. And it's all about teamwork. I'll holler at y'all a little bit later.